Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. Today, my hair is up. Look at how long this is. It's ridiculous. Today, we are taking a look at the brand new New Year reveal of 2020 for Warhammer World. So we have some crazy stuff to actually take a look at. Some silly stuff and some pretty awesome stuff that I'm super excited about. So let's go ahead and just dive right into this, shall we? So, Warhammer World's open day. Ooh, fancy. I like it. This is one really organized crowd. Huh. You don't really get that at conventions here. Welcome. 2019 was an incredible year for Warhammer, with new games, new armies, and the first of the new plastic battle sisters. Yeah, one box. Today, we're at the New Year open day, getting a sneak peek at what's to come in 2020 for the mortal realms and for the grim darkness of the far future. So pretty cool. We're going to start off with Age of Sigmar. Now, I have been getting a little bit more into Age of Sigmar. I've been looking more into it. In fact, I actually have a review coming up that I'm kind of excited about. Because I haven't really done anything with Age of Sigmar for the channel, and I've been meaning to, like, I kind of want to, but it's one of those things where I don't have an army currently that's in both games, that's in the studio at the moment. My army is currently in Arizona. So we have Wrath of the Everchosen. Now, the Everchosen is pretty much, well, the Abaddon of their universe. Meh. There we go. It doesn't want to sit on my shoulder. I don't know why. So this new book tells the story of Dude Guy Mick Bone Reaper invading of the 8 points and stuff is happening. And the Battle of Varen's Spire, I think that's how it's supposed to be said. It's just as well. A lot of you have recently started new Chaos Forces, as you are going to have a lot of new undead to kill. There we go. Whatever. So we do get to check out all of the undead models here, as well as the new Chaos Warriors, which I have to say I'm really digging the Chaos stuff in AOS. I like it a bit more than the Chaos stuff in current 40k, and just because of big giant dragon. Like, I would be using that as a Helldrake if anything else, if Helldrakes were good, but I would use that as a Helldrake if I were to play it in 40k. But I really like the look of the Black Legion in Age of Sigmar. I know it's something different, but it's Black Legion. So we get another new look at the stuff and everything over here. I wish GW would sell this type of... sorry about that. I wish GW would sell this type of terrain. Like, I would buy this in a heartbeat. I know it's made out of just styrofoam and everything and it looks cool, but still, well, that thing's pretty badass. I like that. Chaos Spawn in there. Looking a little out of place with his older model compared to all these new models. These guys legit just look like Space Marines fighting them. Now we got some new stuff for Warcry. Warcry has this guy. He throws rocks. He's a Cyclops. If you tell him you're nobody, then no one will help him. We have the most pompous cat in all of 40k, which still to me... 40k, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, which still to me looks like that one creature from Parasite Eve 2 as you go into the desert. I can't remember what it's called, but that's what it reminds me of. I kind of want this model just to have... Like, that's the thing with Age of Sigmar. I want a bunch of their models just to have them. Not exactly play them, if that makes sense. We also got Angry Boy here. Angry Boy has a big spear and a big shield. I don't know much about them, though I do know that this type of armor is hilarious because it's literally covering his nipples. Probably going to be the only person to point that out. I like it. I think it's cool, but I think you guys know that I'm here mostly for the 40k stuff. That looks like an overweight freaking Lehman Russ. Oh my god. Then you got some Grots. These would just make good Grots in 40k too. Like, you want some diverse Grots. Get yourself some grots. Okay, so Warhammer 40k now. Now we're going to take a look at the Sisters of Battle. This is something that I'm excited about. Alright, let's do this. Ooh, lots of mono pose. And it's loading, even though I have like the best internet ever. Really? Really? We're just... You know what? I lost interest. Let's move on because that's not going to load now. And I'm... What is that face? What? Hold up. What is going on with that face? Why does she have 5 o'clock shadow? What? What? I'm sorry, but girl, no. I can tell you right now. She's cool. She's got a power maul and a book, which is a terrible weapon combination. You actually want like combi weapons and chain swords on all of your sister superiors. But girl, we're not gonna use this one at all. Also, the Retributors are all mono pose if you look. That's kind of a shame. That's really a shame, actually. This one has a bowl cut. I think that's funny. I like the multi-melta. I'm digging the heavy flamethrowers. I'm going to try to run a bunch of heavy flamethrowers and see how they play out. But I kind of don't want... I don't want this head at all. Like, I'm going to throw that head out. Like, I do this with Space Marine heads, too. I think unhelmeted Space Marines just look atrocious. And I tend to throw them, like... Any Space Marine head just right into the garbage unless it has a helmet or is supposed to be a named character. And if that happens, I put hair on it and green stuff it so it looks nice. These, they don't look... That doesn't look nice. That looks... I don't know what's going on there, but nah. Nah. But let's take a look at the... That's a fat guy. I like that. I'm digging the posing and everything, the tubing and everything on the weapons. Not a big fan of that face. I really like this one right here, and I really, really, really like these two. These two look fantastic. Although GW has a problem with making noses look gigantic. They overshadow noses, and I don't know why they do this. But like you can see that this one's way overshadowed where this one is not, and because of that, this head looks a hell of a lot better. So you can see it. It's too shadowed on this one. So yeah, I am definitely digging the heavy weapons girls, the Retributors. I think they look nice. Now, let me tell you about my gripe with the Seraphim. They made the Seraphim, and they couldn't give a Canoness a jump pack. Just saying, they could have included it in the kit. And seriously, if this kit only contains 3 Seraphim, I'm not buying it. Like, at all. Nope. Nope. Banner looks cool. It's going to be hard as hell to magnetize that. I'm going to need something really powerful, so I'm probably going to have to drill out the entirety of her inside of her chest to put a more powerful magnet in there and then a piece of metal on the other side so it clicks really well. By the way, I highly suggest you magnetize all of these. I don't like the unhelmeted head. I think that looks bad. It kind of looks like a Genestealer. Like a Genestealer cultist looks better than that. But overall, I'm really digging the design. I think the jump packs look flourished and nice. I dig the mohawks on the helmet, so I'm probably going to do all helmeted. It is cool to see a different faction being represented here. Usually it's just Modern Lady. I think that's Modern Lady. Yeah. Never mind. They just have black cloaks. Or whatever these things are called. The crotch cape. That's what I'm calling them now. Crotch capes. I wish Seraphim were actually better on the tabletop. Right now, they're outshined in every single way by Repentia. Since Repentia are strength 8 with the tail. If you run your Repentia correctly, they're strength 8. They can hit twice. They have about 4 attacks each. That's counting the double attacks. and they're crazy. Actually, I think they have a base of 2. If they have a base of 2, it goes up to 3, and then that's doubled, so 6 attacks apiece. I am digging the jump design, though. I really like this jump design. It looks really nice. By the way, you can magnetize these stands really easily, and I really should do a tutorial on that. Or just show how I did it. The Arcoflagellants look fantastic. Yeah, I have no real complaints about the Arcoflagellants. I feel like they're still too human. I know that's a weird complaint, but in the stories, they're literally lobotomized. And I feel like there's too much expression going on in their faces. That might be the weirdest complaint ever. Yeah. But they are really, really, really solid units. I know that this is a reference to something, the 1427. British people might get this. Me, I'm a dumb American. I don't get this. I mean, hell, nope, not making those jokes. So next up, we have this guy. He got arrested for, I don't know, stealing an Imperial cookie. It was not right, and he is put onto a penitent engine because he stole my cookie. Over here, this one decided to touch my gay bacon, and she? I'm going to assume that's a she. Yeah. Has breasts, has wide hips, she. Or at least that's what I'm going to assume. I know this is weird, but assume that that's how they identified. I do like the flamethrowers. I really like the flamethrowers. The flails look really nice. I'm probably going to try to run a couple of these in a next game. I've modded mine because the legs look so laughably bad. I actually ripped apart a couple of my Sentinels and put the Sentinel legs on these. And I gotta tell you, actually, you know what? I can show you. They look so much better, and you're gonna love this. They're not painted, but still, you're gonna love this. So I know you guys like cool conversions as I sit over here, and you get to see my green screen behind me and the fact that my chair has a shirt on it. But their penitent engine versus my magnetized penitent engine. My penitent engine looks a hell of a lot better. Just saying. Just saying. Mine looks better. I really should do a video on the conversions that I've been doing in my sister's army, because I have a ton of them. So I hate the legs, but I love the model. Like, it's actually, it's been growing on me quite a bit. I'm really liking the chassis a bit more than I expected, because once you up the size of the legs, the model actually looks appropriate. And I love that. I'm going to take off my sweater. It's barely wearing it to begin with. So moving up, we have the Iron Maiden, which I think this is probably the sickest thing ever. Mostly because this is the Sororitas that's in it. And I think that's so cool. Is it useful? Not really. It's not that good. But it is definitely cool. The problem that I have with penitent engines and mortifiers right now is that there's simply too many points. For an effective squad of 5, and you're going to need about 2 squads to get these things across the field, and they're not Sisters of Battle. So, well, some of them are Sisters of Battle, some aren't. But if they are Sisters, they get the 4-up info, which makes them fantastic. If they're not, actually it's order keyword, so they don't get that regardless because they're not part of an order. So forget that I said that. These things are running across the field with a 4+, 5+ save, and they're just going to get gunned down too easily to be efficient. If Sisters had something similar to a redeployment that put them 9 inches away from the enemy, that'd be really good, but unfortunately, since we don't have that, I'd rather take an Imperial Knight over them, or more Battle Sisters, which will deal more damage than these things. Am I saying not to get them? Absolutely not. They look fantastic. Like, once you replace the legs, they look fantastic. So moving on, we have the Battle Sanctum. So if I had my codex, I could tell you this. But in order to take Battle Sanctum, you actually have to take a different detachment. So you kind of lose out on something, and I don't know how I feel about that. So I went ahead and grabbed my Codex. Now the cool thing about the Battle Sanctum, one of the things that I really like, actually Battle Sanctum is on this page, is that it's not unique. And it's huge. Okay? Like, let's point this out. This thing is massive. I'm thinking it's about 6 inches wide, which means, considering that each of those back pieces are about, it looks like 2.5, and then 1.5, and then 2.5. So I'm going to guess 6 inches wide. There's a little bit of a lip on the second level, and there's a bit of a lip on the third level, which means you can actually put sisters up there. And this thing does give a cover save to them, I believe, although it doesn't count as ruins or anything. So you really have to be careful with this. So let me go ahead and go over this thing's rules really quickly. Let's take a look at this gorgeous model. This thing is absolutely fantastic, by the way. I intend to get like 3 of these because they look fantastic. Aside from that 1 foot that looks a bit weird, but I can look past that because St. Catherine, she looks amazing. All right, so Adeptus Ministorum structure. After it is set up, this model is treated as an Adeptus Sororitas structure terrain feature. It cannot move for any reason, and it cannot move for any reason. Is not treated as a friendly or enemy model, so you can't shoot it, and cannot be targeted or affected by any attacks or abilities. So it doesn't affect itself, which is strange. Rules as written, it doesn't affect itself. Only infantry units, beasts, and swarm units, and units that can fly can be set up or end their movement on the upper floors of this structure. Any unit that can do blah, 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 blah. Infantry units are assumed to be able to scale the walls. We don't need to care about anything else. Models from the infantry unit can therefore move alongside the walls and yada, yada, yada. Infantry. Infantry units that are entirely on or within the Ministorum structure receive the benefit of cover, so +1 to save. So they do actually get +1 to save. Now, it doesn't actually go to vehicles. So keep in mind, unlike ruins, where if you keep a vehicle like up against it, you actually don't get cover if you put your exorcist behind this thing. You don't get cover. I know it's weird because you're super obscured, but you don't get cover. You can get shot at. Okay, keep that in mind. Other units that are entirely on or within the structure only receive benefits from cover if they're at least 50% obscured. So unfortunately, with those big ass windows, your exorcists are kind of going to be sitting out in the open, considering that tank is now huge. So what I highly suggest is you put your exorcist somewhere else, or put 3 of these things next to each other. And I know this is going to sound weird, but I want to run a formation, a detachment with 3 of these in it, because I can put them on my terrain and actually stop my opponent from being... Well, I can't stop him from being 9 inches away from my deployment zone, but what I can do is I can get even more miracle dice per turn, and I have more terrain to hide behind and on for Retributors and for Battle Sisters when I need to hide. You can actually be pretty dirty with these things, by the way. At the start of each battle round, if there are any Adeptus Ministorum units from your army within 6 inches of the Sanctum, gain 1 miracle die. So that actually works with all of them. So if you put these 3 things next to each other, and then in the middle of them have 3 exorcists, and you can actually round these things, by the way. They are rounded. Keep this in mind. They are round. You can round these things next to each other and create a circle and put an exorcist in the middle of it, and your opponent can't assault it because of the distance around it. They cannot get through the wall and touch your base while having enough room to deploy more than like 1 or 2 models. Granted, it also means that if they do get in with a 25 mil base, that your exorcist can't shoot for the rest of the game. So just keep a character near them. Now that's a dirty tactic you can do with it. I highly suggest you just put these 3 things next to each other like a wall to block some of your opponents advancing and assaulting. For instance, if they're running Genestealer Cult, this thing can force them to walk around it. So that's always useful. And add 1 to the leadership characteristic of, and if they're chaos, -1. So what I want to try to do, is run 3 of these. I know it's stupid and it's dumb, but it's 150 points. And honestly, I think it's really dumb. But 3 extra miracle dice every turn, plus your Canoness giving you an extra miracle dice, is 4 miracle dice a turn without doing a damn thing for less than 200 points. Because you get a Canoness, you give the Warlord trait, and you gain 1 at the start of the battle round, so you're actually gaining 5 miracle dice. 5. That's really good. Just saying, I love this thing. I think it looks terrific. Oh yeah, we also got this thing. Burb! We got the best burb in the galaxy. Your little smiley face. So I'm really digging this model. I can't wait to buy it. And now for something that I'm truly excited about. Let's see if this one actually works. So let's go ahead and watch this. Ooh. Supreme Commander of the Firecast. Oh, she looks nice. Why? I literally have the best internet ever, and it's just like, nope, it's not going to work. Whatever, we're going to go check out Farsight. Farsight looks insane. She has a nose. Just want to point this out. She has a nose. Her old model actually did have a nose. Tau actually do have noses. They're just weird because they're indents instead of actually noses. And the thing in their head, which is either a Y or a slit, it definitely doesn't determine their sex, by the way. But the slit in their head is actually what they use to sense all of their... I think it allows them to sense thermal. It allows them to sense stuff. Yeah. Oh my god. I am loving this model. Though GW really likes things jumping in the air. I think it's because GW wants the hero models to actually stand out next to everything else. Because captains with jump packs, people put them on the ground and they hid next to Primaris Marines. And quite literally, they can actually get fully obscured by Primaris Marines. But this girl, she looks intense. I actually have a Farsight downstairs. Not downstairs. She's packed up right now. Let's see if I can grab some of my stuff real quick. Forgot that I can do this. So this is the start of my Tau army. This isn't going to be done for like a few months. I'm going to mostly be working on this more when I'm down in Arizona. But I have about 4,000, 5,000 points of Tau sitting in the studio now. I do have a Commander Farsight, and I have a Commander, I keep calling her Farsight. Even though it's a Farsight, it's Shadow Sun. I get Farsight and Shadow Sun confused. I am sorry. Please forgive me. But I do want both of them as my leaders. I also want the tank dude as a leader. So I think that's really cool. So hope is that we actually get a new set of... Because if you look all the way up at the top, there's a thingamajig. Actually, is it on any of these? No? No, it isn't. Okay. Oh, also we do get to see this, which is the literal Iron Maiden. I think that's fantastic. I just want this. Like, I don't care about the rest of the model. I just want this piece. I want a few of them. I don't think it's here, but my prediction is, and this is entirely based on absolutely nothing. This is me just winging it. That's adorable. But I think it's going to be... It's going to talk about how the Tau are actually fighting off 3 different hive fleets right now. By the way, if you guys didn't know, the Tau are the only ones successful at fighting back Tyranids. The Blood Angels barely did it. The Raven Guard couldn't do it. The Ultramarines barely did it. But Tau are fine. They got it. Because there's a lot of, and I'm gonna put this out there. I really like the Tau. I do like that they're going for more of a Gundam feel. I didn't like their mech warrior appearance. I thought it was a little bit too silly for the 40k universe, especially the way they describe them, because they literally do describe them as Gundams. So I'm digging that. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that we're actually getting something new for the Tau. We haven't had anything new for a few years for them. I think the newest thing was the Riptide and the Yavara and the Supremacy suits. By the way, not a very good name, GW. Just saying. Supremacy suits, really. But overall, I really like these things. And if you ever get a chance to look at the galactic map of where the Tyranids are attacking, if you have a Tyranid Codex, you can actually see that 3 different hive fleets have their tendrils in the Tau Empire. And the Tau have been doing just fine. They also have a god now. That happened. And they're starting to get Psychers. So, yay, Tau! I hope we become relevant. I really like the Tau. But my color scheme is going to be yellow. Yellow, black, and red, black and brown. If you guys know the chibis that I use, I have a Tau chibi that I really like. So, yeah. I really like the Tau. I can't wait for a box set to come out. I'm hoping it's Genestealer Cult versus Tau, because then I win no matter what. And I think the other one is going to be, and I'm basing this off of a picture. No rumors, no nothing. This is me basing it off of absolutely nothing except for a picture. Is going to be Sisters versus Black Legion, which makes sense. And I really hope they push for the Sisters to actually be doing more in the lore, and I think they are. I've read like 4 of the 5 new books that Sisters have come out with, and they've all been really good. But anyway, guys, I want to know what your thoughts are. What is the best model to come out of here? Personally, I actually think it's Shadow Sun. I know that's weird considering I'm such a big Sister fan, but I really think Shadow Sun stole this threw it off. This is probably going to go down as one of the worst models of the year. I don't know how else to describe it, or overweight Lehman Russ here, but tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think of all of the Sisters. Tell me what you think of the Tau. I want to hear your thoughts and comments. And be sure to follow all the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on all sorts of social media, and you can see projects that I am working on currently. And you can see some stuff in the studio as well on my Instagram. I do tend to post there quite often, like once or twice a week. I post a lot on Twitter. I've been tweeting like crazy. I really like Twitter. And if you want to be part of a super cool community, please join my Discord. We have an open and welcoming community, and I love each and every single person in it. Anyway, guys, if you want to be super awesome, check out my Patreon. As always, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye. Hey, everyone. Do you want a cool shirt? Be sure to check out my Teespring. Link is in the description down below.